Mele kalikimaka. My name is Ikeda, and my favorite time of year is Christmas time. And today my gift to you will be reading The Christmas Gift of Aloha. Story by Lisa Matsumoto, illustrated by Michael Furuya. Let's get started. Since the day he was born, Mary the elf had a special talent for speed. He could run faster than any reindeer, ice skate faster than any other elves, and when it came to bobsledding, no one was faster than Mary. Mary's speed was known throughout the land, so it came as no surprise when Santa invited Mary to join his team of Christmas elves. Santa always needed the help of speedy elves. After all, delivering presents around the world in one night was not an easy task and required great swiftness and speed. Mary was perfect for the job, and it was a dream come true. Upon arriving at Santa's workshop, Mary found it more incredible than he had ever imagined. He delighted in tasting the delicious holiday treats and testing the newly built toys. While exploring, he came upon a door with a sign that read, "Do not enter unless you are Santa." Being curious and mischievous as most elves are, Mary tippy-toed into the room and was surprised to see Santa's famous reindeer harnessed to a beautiful, bright, red, shiny sleigh. What fun it would be to take the sleigh for a ride, he thought. After all, the reindeer could probably use exercise, so he'd be helping Santa out. Without giving it another thought, Mary quickly climbed into the sleigh, and before he knew it, the reindeer leaped into the air. Never had Mary felt such excitement and exhilaration. It was a thrilling roller coaster ride in the sky. Mary drove the sleigh faster than it had ever been flown before. Soon the speed was more than Mary could handle. And as the sleigh zipped through the clouds, Mary was tossed from the sleigh and plummeted towards the earth. Falling faster and faster, Mary quickly grabbed hold of his cap, which suddenly caught the air like a parachute. It allowed him to float safely to the ground just as the morning rays lit the horizon. Mary found himself in a strange and distant land, unlike any other place he had ever seen. The trees were a peculiar shape. There were no reindeers in sight, and the snow wasn't even cold. Where could I be? He wondered. There were no signs of Christmas anywhere. Fighting back tears, he sat in the strange warm snow, fearful that his foolishness had caused him to miss Christmas. "This is no time to be sad," a friendly voice said. "It's almost Christmas, the best time of the year." Mary turned to see Mele, a cheerful menehune who had just put a straw hat on what Mary thought looked like a rather peculiar snowman. "That's a funny-looking snowman," Mary said. "Snow?" Mele chuckled. "There's no snow in Hawaii. This is a sandman." "No snow?" Mary exclaimed. "How can there be Christmas without snow?" "Easy," Mele answered. "Things here are a little different from the way they are in the North Pole. Come, I'll show you how we celebrate Christmas in Hawaii." Mele took Mary to the menehune toy shop, which stood high upon the mountaintop. Mary was amazed by all the sights and sounds. He watched intently as the menehune carefully crafted their beautiful Hawaiian toys. He indulged himself in the delicious flavors of the tasty island treats. He admired the hard-working menehune as they cheerfully prepared for Christmas. It reminded him of all the hustle and bustle back at Santa's workshop. Suddenly, it dawned on Mary that things weren't very different here after all. Christmas was alive and well. There are so many toys and treats, all the things that made Christmas special. It shouldn't matter where they came from, Hawaii or from the North Pole. Mary couldn't wait to celebrate his first Hawaiian Christmas. His only wish was that he could help to make it the best Christmas ever. Mary's wish was granted when he was assigned the important job of driving the prize candy cane train down the mountain to deliver all the Hawaiian toys and treats to Santa's sleigh stop in the menehune village below. Mary was thrilled. The train was made of the most delicious Hawaiian treats, and he was honored to deliver the newly made toys to Santa. Mary couldn't have asked for a better job. This was something he knew he could do. He would make Mele proud and be the best candy cane driver there ever was. Once the toys were loaded, Mary excitedly climbed aboard the candy cane train and started down the track. He couldn't believe the amazing sights he saw along the way, driving through the lava caves, past the sparkling waterfalls, and lush rainforests. He delighted in the unique plants and creatures of this tropical paradise, which was like no other place on Earth. He was the luckiest elf in the world. He was especially happy to know he was helping to share all these wonderful Hawaiian gifts with children everywhere. This was the best day in his entire elf life. He couldn't be happier. Mary felt the cool trade winds rush by as the train picked up speed down the mountainside. His pulse raced with excitement as he drove the train faster and faster around every turn. But once again, the speed was more than Mary could handle, and before he knew it, the train sped out of control, running off the track, recklessly racing through the village, finally stopping with a crash! Toys and treats flew through the air, only to shatter and splatter upon hitting the ground. Mele rushed over, fearing the worst. Miraculously, Mary emerged without a scratch. However, the same could not be said for the candy cane train or the newly made toys. They were damaged beyond repair. Mary was devastated. He had let everyone down. Santa, Mele, the menehune, and all the children who had hoped to receive Hawaiian toys for Christmas. He had single-handedly ruined Christmas. He was a disappointment and a disgrace to elves everywhere. In the distance, the sound of sleigh bells rang through the air. It was Santa, traveling all the way from the North Pole, excited to pick up all the wonderful Hawaiian toys. When Santa arrived, Mary sadly lowered his head and confessed what he had done. It's one thing to use your speed to be helpful, but another thing to use it recklessly. A Christmas elf must know the difference between the two, Santa cautioned. I've learned my lesson. No more reckless speeding for me, Mary replied. But what do we do with all the children who are hoping to receive Hawaiian toys? He asked. They'll just have to wait until next year, Santa responded, trying to hide his own disappointment. Santa felt a tug on his suit. He looked down to see the bright faces of all the menehune children who were offering their own Hawaiian toys. Take our toys, Santa, little Miley said. Please give them to the boys and girls who will enjoy them the most. But what about you? Mary said. If you give your toys away, what will you have for Christmas? The littlest menehune replied. We'll make others happy. That's the best gift of all. Santa was speechless. In all his years, he had witnessed many great acts of kindness and generosity, but this outbid them all. This was truly special, a gift of aloha, one that he would never forget. Tears welled in Mary's eyes. The children had taught him the true meaning of Christmas, for it was not about toys and treats as he had thought. Instead, it was about giving and sharing with others. Christmas was not something he could ruin or take away, for it lives deep within each of our hearts. The Menehune children had given Mary a special gift, reminding him of the magic of Christmas and showing him the spirit of aloha. Suddenly, there was a strange sensation in the air, almost a magical kind of feeling. One of the Menehune rushed in excitedly. "The train! The toys!" he exclaimed. "They've all been repaired, and they're as good as new." "How could that be?" Mary asked. Santa smiled and replied, "The magic of Christmas is very powerful, and when it is combined with Hawaii's own magical spirit of aloha, anything is possible." Mary had learned the true meaning of Christmas. It was time to celebrate. Santa and Mary joined the festivities Hawaiian style, each wearing a hand-strung flower lei and a brightly colored aloha shirt. Mary had a great time at the Christmas luau, feasting on all the delicious foods, singing Hawaiian songs, and trying his best at dancing hula. But the highlight of the night was when he asked to lead Santa's spectacular Aloha Christmas parade. It was a dream come true for Mary. It would be a Christmas celebration to remember. Finally, it was time for Santa and Mary to be on their way. Mary was sad to say goodbye to Mele and all his friends, but he knew he would see them again someday. He would never forget them and would always cherish the precious gift they gave him. From that day on, Mary dedicated his life to spreading magic of Christmas and the spirit of aloha throughout the world. The end. Mele kalikimaka, and thank you for reading with me.